Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm for Property. I'm your host, Drip Coach, and let's jump right into it. So today, going to be discussing this idea of sustainable drip behavior. Not good, not bad, but just sustainable. And what this 1% per day faucet obligation actually means for us. And going to be looking at two analogies that should actually drive it home, and some people far smarter than me in the TradFi space. So first and foremost, we're going to start here with the drip faucet obligation. We're going to call it the obligation because Dune no longer shows total drip in faucets anymore up here. Drip in wallets. I'm sorry, it's not that one. It's this one. It's not very accurate. It stopped around February, so we don't have anything else other than this. So what this is saying is the total amount of drip in the faucet. Some of these are max wallets and some are not. It's hard to know for sure, but we know that 1% of this roughly needs to be paid out per day. So let's just use that number. Real simple math. And yes, I know some of those are max wallets, but let's just say that all of those were available. That is 4,183,000, and at 5 cents a day, the faucet owes a debt obligation of $209,000 at 5 cents a day. Now, again, I know that that's not all available to be claimed and sold, and maybe some people lost wallets or whatever, but it doesn't matter. What I want you to see is the fact that this debt obligation continues to grow, and this is where this idea of sustainable drip behavior comes in, because I want to question if whether or not hydrating actually is sustainable, meaning in the long run. So what I'm going to hypothesize in this, and I want you to chew on, is that maybe this is actually what we need, that we're finally seeing more claims and hydrates, because as more people hydrate, then that obligation grows. And clearly, if someone's hydrating for a long period of time, they are looking to cash out eventually. Remember, the whole purpose of drip was to make money, passive income. So it's not like they just put this in here and they're going to let it go. Especially since the last 180 days, we've seen these people continuing to quote unquote exhibit good drip behavior. And again, I want to get you guys to question, what is sustainable drip behavior? Is it just compounding, or is it actually claiming and hydrating and finding some other utilities to add price value, price appreciation to drip? But first, let's jump into this video with Lawrence Leopard and James Lavish, where he's actually talking about the Fed liquidity issue and how they've already basically started injecting money back into the system after trying to curb inflation. And he's talking about exponential growth and what that means. So he's going to give this analogy that I want to break down.
This is the point about exponential growth. And I think the average human mind just doesn't fully grok exponential growth and the way things can compound, and the way that once lines start to go very vertical, the second derivative becomes extremely high, and the system is unstable and it's going to explode. This is I'm borrowing this. None of my ideas are original, by the way. I borrow damn near everything I've got. I'm borrowing this from Egon von Greur,
the U.S. government.
Yeah, who's a gold guy in Switzerland. I just find this amazing. So imagine a football stadium, right? And every minute, one drop of water is added to the stadium, and every minute, the number of drops you add doubles. I did the math on this, and I think it comes out accurately. I could be a little wrong, but it makes the general point, even if it's slightly off, the general point is correct. So it goes from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 drops. And you say, how long would it take to fill this stadium? And you think, a day, a month, a year?
All right, so we're going to pause it on that clip because that is, there's actually some math behind it, and people have wrote some analogies on it and actually done the math. So it's the same thing. Imagine a magic pipette. It is magic because every drop of water that comes out of it will double in size every minute. So the first minute, there's 1 drop. The second minute, there are 2 drops. Third minute, 4 drops. Fourth minute, 8 drops, so on. This is an example of exponential growth. Now imagine a normal size football stadium. For those of you from the East or West, depending on where you are, football stadium like this, traditional football, American football. And in this stadium, you are sitting on the seat at the very top of the stadium with the best overview of the whole stadium. To make things more interesting, imagine the stadium is completely watertight and that you cannot move from your seat. The first drop from the magic pipette is dropped right in the middle of the field at 12 p.m. Here's the question. Remembering that this drop grows exponentially by doubling in size every minute, how much time do you have to free yourself from the seat and leave the stadium before the water reaches your seat at the very top? Think about it for a moment. Hours, days, weeks, months. So honestly, think about that, and we will go back to the clip and listen to it from him. So the math does line up, but remember, this is exponential growth. So it's doubling every minute. We're not quite there. We double every 70 to 75 days if it is compounded daily. But let's listen.
It would take 50 minutes to fill the stadium, which is amazingly short. But the more interesting thing is think at how it ends. It's hard to understand how full the stadium would be after 45 minutes. You ask people, well, how full is it after 45 minutes? And people might think, well, it's pretty damn full because you're getting near the end. No, at 45 minutes, the stadium is only 7% full. Okay. So in the last 5 minutes, the stadium goes from being 7% full to being 100% full. That's what we mean when we say, I went bankrupt slowly and then suddenly all at once.
Yeah.
I mean, the compounding of the math in these situations, people don't understand it. And so when this happens, and we can get into what I think is the timing on it all. When this happens, people are going to be absolutely shocked.
All right. Now, remember, that's about liquidity, the Fed and the US dollar. But this is the same because it's a magic printer, so to speak, turned on. Now, granted, again, it takes 70, 75 days, but the issue to address is still there. We have exponential growth. And there's one other great analogy that goes back into ancient India times. So imagine you were wandering through the vibrant fields of rice paddies. You stumbled upon a wise man named Palpasanan, who's quite the chess enthusiast, and intrigued, you strike up a conversation. Now, Palpasan, being a knowledgeable soul, decides to teach you about exponential growth using a fascinating analogy of rice and a chessboard. So he says he challenges you to a game and he'll place 1 gram of rice on the first square of the chessboard. If he wins, basically you'll have to pay him the equivalent of whatever it would be at the end of the 64 squares. So he places 1 grain of rice on the first square, 2 on the next square, 4 on the following square, 8 on the following square, 16, so on and so on. And you agree to this because it doesn't seem like a big deal. Now, fast forward. It starts simply enough. The 10th square still only contains less than 15 grams of rice, but the 20th holds 15 kilos. The 30th already holds 15 tons. And in its region, by 32nd square, the quantities rapidly become unimaginable. And when I looked at this, the current, they said basically when this analogy came out in the 1900s, it was more than the 10 times the amount of rice available globally. I don't know if we have that now, but it's a ridiculous amount, to say the least. So that is, again, the power of compound interest or exponential growth. Now, I bring all this up because, as I mentioned, so there's 2 things now against the drip token. There's going to be people that will always hollow. You cannot expect them to put it back in the faucet. They will not. And you can expect new people to come in, catch the charts. If we pump this thing and see, oh shit, drip is off the all-time low, pump. That's going to happen. You need to embrace that and realize that is the name of the game now. No matter what, there are people that are going to buy it and hold it, and they're going to have no idea about the actual tokenomics built into the drip, because it's just a token on CoinMarketCap or on CoinGecko. So the rules have changed. Number 2, there are people that are going to only be able to put in so much drip based on the prices previously, and they're going to compound till max wallet. That creates the leverage that we talked about. And by compounding, they are adding exponential leverage to their drip faucet. Showed you guys that already. Regardless of team building or referral leeching or anything like that, each person has exponential leverage on the system. And this will continue to grow. So I bring all that up because, again, the drip protectors want to do something with this. And I'm trying to warn them. I'm not in the group, so I've been reached out. Probably not going to join the group. I don't think they want me in. And you'll see in these comments that some people just are still in their own feelings. And there is no way to move forward if people don't actually look at the facts versus their emotions. But because the rules of the game have changed, we have to play accordingly. Don't operate the way you wish the world was. Operate the way it is. And the way it is that this is not sustainable, even by quote unquote positive behavior of compounding. So like this one person said, aside from making the moves we're currently making, it would be good for us to brainstorm new utility for Drip 2, for the king game, like the NFT thing. Don't know what the NFT thing is, but that's exactly what I was preaching about Crypto Ranch. Not saying they're going to use that project. They probably won't. And actually, I know they won't because I pitched it. And anything that I bring up, people are in their feelings and would rather not use. But they do need some sort of utility. Meaning, if they raise $400,000, $500,000, $1 million, you cannot dump that into drip. Good actors and bad actors will claim out because a lot of people saw the charts at 30 and thought drip was going to moon with triple D, and it didn't. So any price pump from 5 cents on up is going to have massive sell volume, period. And people will then go again back to speculating and hodling on the token. So the best thing you can do is take this capital and put it somewhere where you don't end up spending it, i.e. an NFT game, staking it on the animal farm, because you know it's secure, and then using those dividends to not only buy back in the drip, but also build platforms, build games, build utility, build things that can take a small chunk out of this $200,000 that we need to be bringing into drip every single day. That is the key to sustainable price action and actually fixing the Ponzi-nomics of drip. So in this thread, somebody commented, gotta move like ninjas. Why is that even the case? Like, this is how sad that we've gotten within the drip community. I'm saying nothing but positive things and supporting this, and people think they gotta hide things and make comments like this. And even one of the race supporters using his dialogue, oh, I see he has an agent in here. This is ridiculous. This is like elementary school, junior high. There's only people in drip that want to see it succeed, and they're all working towards that, or there's people that just got in crypto and they don't care who they wreck on the other side. And that goes with this. Agreed. Yes, Ray has a lot of drip. Yes, he made a lot of money. Yes, he undeserved. I do not get that. That is ridiculous. So it doesn't matter to this person how Ray accumulates his money, basically over leveraging and leeching, and they're okay with that. And that brings me to this video that this person made a comment on. It was on my video. What is one is this? The end of an era on CK and Ray. And this is sad that there are people like this exist. I just don't know how else to phrase it. I hate to say it, Drip Coach, but what I think you're missing here is that 9 people putting in money so that one person can take it out is the purpose of the main function of Drip. So if you don't want that to happen, it's a straight line to wanting Drip to fail. So this person literally thinks Drip was designed to be a Ponzi, and it's okay to just wreck the people that come in behind you. Same as this person here, who's in this protectors of Drip. It's like, hey, it doesn't matter. Drip got in, Ray got in on day one. He played the game correctly. That is sickening to me, because behind every single dollar in Drip is a real person. You don't know their story. You don't know why they got in. And yes, people get on their high horse and say, well, we said not financial advice, do your own research, so it's okay, it's not on me. I don't roll that way. I wish other people had higher moral standards and a higher moral compass, but unfortunately, I know that's not the case. But I'm gonna rock out that way regardless. And I don't have to sit by and just let things like this slide. I can at least bring light to them. So now I know you don't want Drip to fail, but what I'm saying is once you recognize that's why they made Drip, and see why they aren't receptive to your feedback. That's not why they made Drip. Forex made it with a 1% payout and tried to put in based off of what he knew at that time to be sustainable mechanics and upgrades from bankroll flow. Fast forward 2.5 years later, he's learned a lot more. And so have people that learned how to play the game. But the point is, again, I showed you guys, only Ray exploited the system on day one. So there's thousands of other people in Drip, and he was the only one on day one that exploited. I'm sure some other people caught wind of it and exploited as well. We call because, quote unquote, it's the contract. That's just the way it goes. I got lucky. They didn't. Like, I don't roll that way. I don't understand how people can look themselves in the mirror knowing that you're actually stealing money from someone else, and you're using the guise of, well, that's the way the contract works, so lucky me, sorry for you. No, if you actually take this group and the actual money and liquidity and whatever efforts they do and build something with utility, same way Drip 21 is trying to do, same way Bitfighters was trying to do, same way Spritz tried to do, then you can actually fix this slowly but surely. And yes, of course, your CKs and Rays will still claim out and make a lot of money, but at least you don't wreck the other 49,990 drippers that are playing the game correctly, just because 10 decided to exploit the system. Like, I don't believe in that. So anyway, I wanted to bring this up because, again, as you saw from the two analogies referenced the rice and the water droplets in the stadium, we have an exponential faucet obligation of debt to pay. And the only way to do that is to bring in more and more utility like this Like right now, just to sustain it, we need this $209,000 per day. So there is a solution and there is a way forward. And I still don't agree for these other people that think it's okay to just essentially rob Peter to pay Paul. So you guys that are out there, I'm not in the group, but get your voices heard, join the group, give some information, some ideas. They're not reaching out to me or listening to me, but if enough of you guys join the group, and don't say you got information for me, but come up with ideas on your own and think of it from a sustainable empowerment sort of perspective, not just how can I get my bag out. Think of it, how can I build something that actually does provide financial freedom and actually, according to Forex's vision, has integrity, innovation, and value built into it. And the one thing that's missing for people like this and people like this is integrity. All right, that's all I got. Smash that HBO special, help brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below, and until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.
Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now.